You know what time it is. It's about to be that time. All right. Sorry for the delay today, guys. We're doing something new. We haven't done a tier list stream on this channel. I've gotten a lot of requests for them. We've done, similar things to it, but we've never used tierlistmaker. So I had to do a couple of extra things to get it figured out. One thing I want to know is there an echo? Let me know if there's an echo today. Shout out to Gabe C. Because I had to layer some mic effects, and I just want to make sure that that's not affecting anything here. All right. Yes, thank you, Phantom Greyfire. Like D stream. All right. I see a lot of people talking about the new opening. All right. I have not seen it yet. All right. I'm saving that for a reaction. I wanted to get Chrissy involved with it because we've done that in the past, right? The past couple of openings, Chrissy and I both watched together and reacted together, and that was a lot of fun. But I don't know if Chrissy's gonna have time today. But if not, we'll do it here. I did set something up so that we can do that today. But the main goal of today really is to do an ARC tier list. This has been the most requested stream. Anytime I've done like, hey, what do you want me to do for break week? ARC tier list, ARC tier list, ARC tier list. So here we are. We're finally doing an ARC tier list. Why I didn't do one sooner, I went on to tiermaker.com or whatever the name of that site is. And, I type in One Piece ARC tier list, and I didn't like any of them. I didn't like the pictures that they chose. I didn't like that they used volume covers. That just gets muddied. Like, obviously I know which volume covers attribute to the arcs, but in my opinion, an arc is separated and determined basically by what island they're on. And there's a couple of things that may be hot takes in the community or anything like that, but we'll see this when I pull up the tier list to begin with, that I've added things that some people probably wouldn't consider an arc. So we'll get into that, and I've separated different things into different areas because I think that they are deserving of their own. Because there are some arcs like Return to Sabaody that are only a couple of chapters, right? But then there are other areas where we're going for even more, and it's not considered an arc. I'm considering it an arc. So we're changing the conversation today. Yeah. And yes, I do know that 1037 spoilers are out. Please, guys, do not put anything about that in the chat. All right, we're going to talk about that on Friday when the chapter comes out. I don't know anything about it, and I'm happy. I've seen in the Discord, unfortunately, I saw a bunch of people saying, "Oh, I got spoiled," or "I got a little bit of a spoil." I don't want any spoilers. Never, 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 never. And then we got shout out to Blazing Blue. All right, said Impel Down is underrated. I hope to see it high on the list. Said, love you, Randy. Keep up the good work, man. Thank you, Blazing Blue. Don't worry. Impel Down is not underrated for Randy Troy. So we've also never done a stream on a Sunday, so I had a little bit of a busy week, but decided to do something. And we still got over 100 people in here. It's been an interesting week. I put that King of the Hill thing on Twitter. It's got like 50,000 views or something. It's crazy. The thing was blowing up. All right, let's get into this. Let's get into this tier list, guys. All right, here we go. Boom. How you like that? We're getting fancy in here. So welcome to the Randy Troy ARC tier list. Okay, I made this myself because I just could not stand the versions that I found. So I created my own images. You can see here, you know, the going theory, you know, and everything in the community and all of that, and maybe even by Oda himself, is that there's only 30 or 31 arcs. Here, I think I've separated everything into about 38. So here we are. I'll share the tier maker link as well. Sure thing, Phantom. Give me a moment. And be sure to, you know, in the Discord or anything, take, you know, take your list and put it in the Discord, because I want to see what you guys have to say as well with it. And let's see. Let me know if that link works, or if that's something that only works for me and my, you know, because I made it. So I'm going to pin that. And there we go. Evo said, wow, he changed the stream layout without a bunch of issues. I'm proud. I'm trying, guys. I'm trying. I will react to the new opening, all right? And I will do it after we get through this tier list, all right? And I will also clip that from this and make it its own VOD as well, all right? So here we go. Just to talk about this tier list for a little bit. I see Julio said Savage should be top tier. Well, that's the thing, is Savage is top tier. All right? It's just, you know, the lavish bracket is its own thing. It's its own thing. So here we go. Gabe C said, Gaimon in lavish bracket, or we were Ryan. Oh, that's funny. Switching back for a second, I think I have to do this. Oh no, that's what I need to do. Okay. So here you'll see that we have Romance Dawn, then we have Shell's Town, which a lot of the lists on Tier Maker didn't even include Shell's Town as its own arc. Orange Town, Gaimon, which is criminally missing from every tier list. Every single tier list on the planet did not include Gaimon, so you know I had to fix that. Okay? Syrup Village, Baratier, Arlong Park, Logtown, Reverse Mountain, Whiskey Peak, Little Garden, Drum, Alabasta, Jaya, Skypea, Long Ring, Longland, Water 7, Sea Train. Yeah, that's a controversial thing. I consider the Sea Train its own arc. Okay, it is an interlude between Water 7 and Enies Lobby, and it lasts about 20 chapters. So if the Reverie is considered its own arc, so is the Sea Train. All right, you heard it here. We're doing it. Enies Lobby, Post-Enies Lobby, Thriller Bark, Sabati Archipelago, Amazon Lily, Impel Down, Marineford, Post-War, which is like the ASL flashback, 3D2Y, considering that its own arc. Everything after the ASL flashback, okay? So these are the catching up with the Straw Hats, basically the epilogue of the pre-timeskip. It's worth considering on its own. I don't want to loop it in with the ASL stuff. Return to Sabaody, Fishman Island, Punk Hazard, Dressrosa, Zoe, Whole Cake, Reverie. And then here, I have split up Wano because it is so long, all right? So I have Wano, which is essentially Act 1, Udon, which is essentially Act 2. The Odin flashback in itself, because it was... it's worthy of considering its own arc. And then now we're in Onigashima, which is unfair to rate because it's not over, but we're going to do it anyway. All right? Random guy said, why is 3D2Y an arc? I just explained it. It's catching up with the Straw Hats, the epilogue of the story. I don't think looping it all together in just post-war is enough. Tom said, if you're going to separate Udon, why not just name them Act 1, Act 2, and Act 3? I did that, but I just didn't like the way that it looked on the image. So I took my own liberties. All right? So here we go. Our tiers today are the top tier, which will essentially be the top 5, and I'm going to basically, by the end of this, try to only have 5 in there, is the lavish bracket. Okay, can't get any higher than the lavish bracket. Then we have Savage, which is all of our other really top tier arcs. Certified means this is a great arc. Okay, serviceable means Oda did his thing, and it got to, it got us to where we needed to go in the story. Then we have Basura, which means trash. All right, there's absolutely nothing going to go into that because nothing, no arc in One Piece is Basura. Okay, that's the bottom line. So it's there, but I'm not going to use it. All right, so here we go. We got to start. Gaimon. It's in the lavish bracket. All right, it's a top tier arc. Okay, it's encapsulates the entire meaning of One Piece. Gabe C said, "Are we doing polls to decide?" When we get to some things in contention, yeah, probably. We could probably do something like that. But I mean, for the most part, this is going to be my list. But some people may sway me on some things. Not for everything, not on everything. So I did not include anime only arcs. I see a lot of people saying that I'm disrespecting G8. All right, this is manga only. All right. So here we go. So we're going to start with Romance Dawn. All right, this is the start of the series. This is essentially just the Luffy flashback, up until meeting Kobe, prior to reaching Shell's Town. And some of these things may shift. I might put it somewhere, and then it may, drop down. It may move up. Okay, so nothing is. Evil Warrior said, imagine at the end Randy just grabs images of Naruto and Bleach and puts them in Basura. Well, I can't add anything to it now, but opportunity missed. All right, so Romance Dawn, I'm going to put that in Savage, all right, because that's a top tier thing. The Luffy flashback is absolutely, one of the, the clear ways to get into the series, and I love that, One Piece actually has it as their first episode. That's the way that it should be. I love just by itself that first flashback with Luffy and Shanks. I feel like you could show it to anybody and they don't even have to watch the rest of the series. They're getting a good story. So, there we go. Tristan Viala said, so you couldn't be Gaimon either. That Kaido quote hits hard. All right, Shell's Town. For right now, I'm gonna call Shell's Town serviceable. Okay, this is it's a great arc. It introduces us to one of the many goats of One Piece, Zoro. But we're in and out. We let Kobe go off on his journey. We take out Morgan. Morgan, sets up your modern One Piece, villain. You know, it sets up the corruption of the Marines and all of that. There's a lot of setup there, but at the same time, it's not, you know, you got to realize that there are a lot of really top tier, really excellent arcs, and Shellstown by itself is serviceable. And I wanted to separate it from Romance Dawn because I think that Shellstown would, if I had Shellstown included with Romance Dawn, I would probably put it in Certified. All right, Orangetown, the introduction of Nami. All right, we're talking Shushu, the true start of the theme of treasure within the first early, you know, parts of the, you know, East Blue. You know, that's definitely the overarching theme of that is treasure, and what does treasure mean for you? Treasure doesn't have to be something that is monetary, materialistic. It can be a hat, it can be money, or it can be friends, it can be people, it could be your crew, it can be whatever. Orangetown is also the introduction of the goat, Buggy D Clown. All right, we're gonna certify Orangetown. All right, especially considering that Orangetown was what I started with. My first introduction to One Piece to begin with was Chapter 8, which was the first chapter of Orangetown. So it can't be anything less than certified because it made me go and find, you know, chapters 1 through 7. So now we've got Syrup Village. Syrup Village is probably the closest thing to Basura that comes into One Piece, only because it's just such a barrier for entry, you know. But I mean, like I said, nothing is Basura, so we're gonna go with serviceable. It does what it needs to. It does what it needs to do. It introduces us to Usopp, but the story, you know, I am tempted to put it in Basura, but I don't really think that it is trash. It gives us Django, that's a goat. Kuro has an amazing design, but I think his motivation is Basura. And it just, you know, I've tried to get so many people into One Piece, and they stop at Syrup Village. And I try to get them to continue going on. No, just like get to Barati, get to Arlong Park. Do it, please. And they don't. Syrup Village kills it. So, and you know what? Man, I don't want to go back on what I said, but I'm gonna leave Syrup and Basura for now, just because I'm like really upset with it. There is no trash, there is no bad arc in One Piece, but I'm only putting it in Basura to separate it as the quintessential worst arc. If I wanted to call, even the worst arc in One Piece is better than probably the best arc in another anime. All right, Savage. So, all right. We'll have it there. Really, it's going to bump up to serviceable later, but I'm just using that to separate it. So, Baratier. Man. That's a great arc. That's a great arc. I'm tempted to put it in certified, but I think it's Savage because it's the introduction of the goat Sanji. So, and Gin. You know, shout out to the boy Gin, the lurking legend. When's he gonna pop back up? No one knows, but we always try to figure it out. Yeah. So I love a lot of the stuff about Baratier, but I also think that there are some slow moments to it. I don't think that the fight between Luffy and Don Krieg is one of the as great as some other fights. I mean, idealistically, I think that there's some really great stuff going on. Obviously, you have Zoro and Mihawk. You have all of the Sanji stuff. The fight between Sanji and Gin is my favorite part of Baratier as far as like fights go and all of that. I especially love the reanimation that was done in episode of East Blue. Like man, when Sanji shoots that cigarette into Gin's face, so good, so good. All right, Arlong Park. That's a lavish bracket right there. I don't know if that's going to change. I don't know if that's going to drop down. But Arlong Park is the arc. Okay, that's the one that lets you know what ride you're getting into, you know, or at least gives you an idea. I think Alabasta is really the ride that sets the tone for everything. But boy, oh boy, man. Arlong Park. I mean, without the help me moment, the walk, the fight with Arlong, everything. It's the culmination of just really great work from Oda. You know, and I also have a very, you know, like big attachment to Arlong Park, you know, because of the website, the forums, you know, which, you know, I was one of the original admins at, and that was a really great hub for the community. So it's got a special place for me. It's top tier. I don't care what anybody says, and that's, you know, we lavish. All right, certified. And Logetown. I'm gonna certify Logetown. You know, we got Dragon, we got Smoker. The goat Buggy D Clown comes back. All right, we get everybody announcing their dreams. You know, it's a short arc. I think my favorite part of it is really just Zoro in the sword shop. I think that's just one of the, like, it's one of the best scenes in East Blue for sure. You know, it's like when he tests his luck and he puts his arm out, like, you just sit there and you're just like, that's a man. That's a man. So shout out. And yeah, shout out to Darcerius says Arlong Park is the arc you get hooked if you haven't been before. Exactly. It's like all of those people that stopped at Syrup Village, had they gotten to Arlong Park, they probably would have finished, you know? But, you know, pour out a little liquor for everybody who stopped at Syrup Village. Pour out a little syrup, okay? They don't know the greatness. They don't know what they're missing, okay? Oh, man. So... let's see. Shout out to the 215 people here on a break week, talking about ranking arcs. Appreciate you being here. Like the stream, subscribe if you're not. You know, we're very close to 20K. Let's get there. All right. Reverse Mountain. All right. This is you know, this is the introduction to my queen, Vivi. So off of that, I want to certify it. Realistically, as an arc, I think it's serviceable. We're going to certify it for now. If things get a little too, you know, crazy in some of the areas, I might drop it down to serviceable. But we also have the, you know, one of the greatest jokes in the series, Crocus, at least in the anime. The anime went off with that whole, like, going back to his eye, back to the crew. Love that. Love that. And, man. You know what? I'm gonna put it at serviceable. because Whiskey Peak, I have to certify Whiskey Peak. It's almost the Savage arc. It's almost. It's Whiskey Peak is great. You know, I remember I used to, if I ever wanted to go back to an episode to rewatch when I was younger, I'd go back to, I think it was episode 65 or 66, and it's just the episode where the entire episode Zoro's just taking out the bounty hunters. So well done. It's just so great, you know. When he sits up there and he's got his, it's just like, hey, I know exactly who you guys are. And then he just disappears and he appears behind Igadum. Like, man, that's a man. That's a man. So we may throw Reverse Mountain back up into certified. I want to certify it. I want to, but I also don't want the. I want to try and keep a balance on the sheet too, but I also got to stay fair. So we'll reassess once we get some things in here. Little Garden. Little Garden. Man. This might, I think that this is going to be different, but I think Little Garden is a Savage arc. Like, I really like Little Garden. You got Mr. 3, you got the candle wax, you know, the candelabra. You have Zoro doing his pose. You have the conversation in Mr. 3's hut with Sanji, the birth of Mr. Prince. The introductions to Elbaf. You have dinosaurs. It's a very strange arc that, you know, even when you go to places like Skypiea and Fishman Island, you look back at Little Garden and you still think it's a little crazy, but that's what One Piece is. I don't expect everybody to consider that you know, I don't expect people to regard Little Garden as much as I do, but I remember it was one of my most rewatched arcs. It's fun. It's a fun one. Shout out to Chrissy in the chat. All right, now Drum, man. Drum's kind of lavish. It might drop down to Savage, because at the end of the day, I still only want to keep 5 arcs in lavish bracket. I want to try to keep only 5 arcs in lavish, but the Hero Look flashback alone is lavish. Like, I think if I could separate that from Drum, it would be lavish, and then I'd probably put the rest of Drum in Savage. But Drum is another arc that really just like resonates with me, because just the conversation about conviction is just something that I've like lived my life by. So it's like, it's something that means something intrinsically to me. Hero Look saying, put conviction behind your flag. Luffy at the top of, you know, the castle, getting blasted by Wappo, holding the flag, saying, you know, it's a symbol of conviction, that it's not something that you can trample on. You cannot destroy this. Like, that's why, you know, like, when I made my production company and I used to like direct music videos and stuff like that, and like just do any sort of video, like, and that's why you see conviction at the beginning of these videos. Like, that was what played at the beginning of my videos, because my production company was Conviction Studios, and it's because of that moment. That's how much One Piece is like ingrained in my life. So yeah. Hero Look speech. Like, the Hero Look flashback, and I feel like I've said this before, or maybe I haven't, but I've definitely said it out loud, is like, it's so good that it could have been its own movie. I mean, technically it was. But, I mean, like, just that. Just the Hero Look flashback with Chopper, right, is like, it's better than a Disney story. Like, it's something that should have been nominated at the Oscars for Best Animation and win and go home. And, like, Oda should be, like, holding that trophy. And because it's so perfect even as an isolated thing. No one needs to know anything about One Piece. It's just, here's the Hero Look flashback. Everything is laid out. It's perfect storytelling from beginning to end. It is a perfect isolated story. That's why it is lavish. Luffy scaling the mountain. Yeah. Bro. Like, that's why, you know, that's why I still regard, like, Nami's flashback and Chopper's flashback is just, like, excellent. Robin's flashback is great, but the problem with Robin's flashback is that it's way better if you've read the rest of One Piece. As an isolated story in itself, it doesn't do as good of a job as, like, explaining things or just being organic. So it's great. It hits you. But it's not great isolated. I can't show someone the Robin flashback and expect them to have as much of an attachment as I would to it. But I can show someone the Chopper flashback. I can show someone the Nami flashback. I could probably show someone the Brook flashback too. You know. So. And Alabasta. You know we lavish. You know we lavish. We lavish. Vivi. Crocodile. The sauce god. Crocodile. Alright? The man who put drip on the map. Okay? Alabasta. It's my favorite arc in the entire series. Like, if anything moves from Lavish Bracket, Alabasta does not. Alabasta is at the tippy top. Alright? Jamaican Don Dada said, Vivi calling out Luffy for being a bad captain is an amazing moment in Drum Island. I always talk about that moment as being one of the most underrated moments in the series. It's so important. Alabasta is just amazing, and it's the culmination of, like, it's just such great storytelling. The saga in general, right? And one of my favorite aspects of it is just the utilization of Sanji, rather the non-utilization of him, right? Hiding him from Baroque Works so that he is able to do his James Bond stuff in Alabasta, right? And then you go back and you see the moments like, yeah, oh, Bon Clay didn't meet Sanji because he was cooking. So, you know, all of this other stuff, you know, him being in the hut. Then you get that Mr. Prince moment. You get the 3 fights with Crocodile. You get Vivi's turmoil. You know, the only thing that brings down Alabasta at all is Pell coming back. That's it. If Pell died, I think more people would. You know, Alabasta was something that was, like, highly regarded many years ago, and I think it's not as regarded these days, especially with newer fans that have been able to binge everything, just, you know, because of elements like that, and it gets memed on. But the arc in itself, the fights, Mr. One versus Zoro, come on. It's so good. It's so good. Kunta said, put each rank in order from best to worst, too. Yeah, so Yeah, you know Gaimon is still at the top of Lavish. Let's see. Yeah, that looks right. All right, Jaya. I mean, how can I not put everything in Lavish bracket? Like, this is... Jaya is legitimately one of my favorite arcs in the series. Man. The introduction of Bellamy, the themes within Jaya, the setup for Skypiea, the introduction of Marshall D. Teach, you know? Opening the world up even more, showing us Mary Joa, the introduction to Doflamingo, the introduction to Kuma, like everything about it. It's so, man, it's so good. It's so good. It's so good. Blackbeard's speech, yep, it's definitely peak Momo. I can't not, like, I love it. I love it. I love it. Skypiea. Now, I love Skypiea, and but I'm only gonna certify it, but I'm gonna put it at the top of certified. Skypiea is great, but it gets drowned out by a lot of the non-deaths in Skypiea. I remember watching it when I was younger and thinking about how much of a threat Enel was. And, man. But then you go back and you just see Pagaya and Laki and Kamakiri and, like, all these other guys just get up from millions of volts of lightning. And it just sort of makes Enel look like a little bit of a joke. And I hope that that gets corrected in the live action. Now, I know that there are people that put Skypiea at the bottom. There are people that regard Skypiea as one of the best arcs in the series, and there's nothing wrong with that because I think it's great, and it's a great isolated arc too. But the other thing is that for a lot of people, it's also it's, you know, it kind of drags if you're watching it in the anime. In my opinion, it's the moment, it's the arc where the anime starts to need to get one paced. So, and it was tough. Like, even when I was doing my rewatch and like Chrissy's first watch years ago, she was having a tough time with Skypiea. But in hindsight, as the years go on, Skypiea only gets better. It's like a fine wine. It ages really well. And I think that it's something that I might be able to come back at the end of the story and put it in Savage, but I don't think it's ever going to be Lavish for me. But I will say that, like a fine wine, the Calgara and Nolan flashback is something that I would isolate and put it in Savage. That is another great isolated story that Oda put together, but it's something that I didn't appreciate when I was younger, but I do now. All right. Long Ring, Long Land. I mean, I know a lot of people would put this in Basura, but I'm going to certify Long Ring, Long Land in the manga, not in the anime. I loved Long Ring, Long Land, and I may be one of the few that do, but I think it was a great break after how long Skypiea was. We have excellent character interactions, and I think that anybody that doesn't like Davy Backfight in Long Ring Long Land really needs to go back and just, oh man, just enjoy it for what it is. Like, just a necessary break with crew moments. Like, there's so many times where the crew gets split up and things, and Oda just really did a great job of focusing on the crew in the pre-time skip, giving them funny moments. The groggy ring is so, it's like, is it top tier? No, but it's fun, and I wish it got animated properly. Afro Luffy alone should be lavish. Foxy, I thought, was a really fun villain. Like, his power was so interesting. It was so different. It's something I've never seen in any other sort of story. I've never seen someone throw a beam and slow someone down. It's one of the most creative things Oda has done, period. And it's also, like, the arc that really raised the stakes for a lot of things, because Aokiji comes in at the end and wipes the floor with Luffy. I think people sleep on it because of what the anime did to it. And what the anime did was atrocious. But in the manga, Long Ring Long Land is a lot of fun, and I cannot put it in basura. Keyboard Cat said it's legit in the manga. I agree. Evo said, I remember when I first reread the story after watching it the first time, I had literally completely forgotten the Nolan flashback. And when I finished, I was like, how did I forget? The boat race is hilarious. Yep. Emily Demon said, Afro Luffy. Lucy B said, so many friends of mine stopped One Piece because of Skypiea. Yeah, I've heard that too. Frequency asked, did those guys who took the super steroids to fight Crocodile die? Well, I don't think we ever saw them again, so, they may be the, there definitely were some casualties in Alabasta. 1 million people were fighting, and there were a lot of them on the ground. But if you had a name, you made it out. All right. Whew. Water 7. Water 7. Man. That's lavish. Man. The CP9 reveal alone. I don't know how many people in here were unspoiled of that, but to this day, I still feel it's the best twist that I've been a part of in the community. Because there was so much discussion during the Water 7 era of, like, Kaku's gonna join, Paulie's gonna join, oh, this Lucci guy is cool, like, all of this stuff. The only one I really saw people, like, suspecting a lot was Khalifa. Like, because it's like, oh, the secretary, might be, no one expected Bluno. But just scrolling down and getting to that panel where they all have the masks off, like, oh, it's peak. It's peak. It's peak. Peak fiction. It's incredible. I can't talk about it enough. Kaku jumping off of the building, just Kokoro no Chizu capturing everything of that era. Nami having one of her best fits in the series with the tie and the 3, like, man. All of the intrigue with Robin, the drama, Usopp and Luffy, like, really getting into, like, some, like, whoa, we're getting deep now. We're getting deep. There's no other arc in the series that's quite like Water 7, and would hope that Oda would do something similar, you know, but hey, Oda probably says, you want my old arcs, buy my old volumes. Man, Water 7's so good. Lucy B, Water 7 was crazy week to week, yep. CP9 reveal gave Heavenly Demon chills. Gabe C said the CP9 reveal made me upset. Random guy said I legit thought Kaku was going to join. Yeah. Chin said Water 7 was close to Marineford week to week. Yeah. And Graham and it said list is looking great, Randy. You need to put more than 5 in Lavish. I think you're right. Frankie, I didn't even talk about Frankie. Like, Frankie was amazing. Frankie is amazing. Frankie's like in my top 3 Straw Hats, so you know, that's a man. All right, so we got the Sea Train next. I really love the Sea Train. Like I want to get the Sea Train in Lavish just because we've got Sanji going off. We've got Soge King, the birth of one of the goatiest McGoats. Soge King no Shimade Umareta Orewa. Oh man, like the fact that the anime gave him a song, like ooh, when Sanji does that kick on Bluto and he like breaks the Tekkai a little bit, it was just like, whoa, hold on, this guy's got some power to him. Shout out to Brandon King when just believe in Luffy when Sanji runs for Robin, but then the air door closes. Oh man, Sea Train was so fire week to week, especially as a Sanji stan. Just like, whoa, my boy is really getting his own arc right now. And that's why I had to separate it. Because it's like 20 chapters of Sanji, Usopp, and Frankie going off. And then occasionally cutting to Luffy and Zoro on a train. And it was... Man, I love it. Brandon King said, what if Tom actually does things with a Dawn instead of a Don? D-A-W-N. That's interesting. I mean, I think that we'd have to look at the kanji and like see how, when he says Dawn, how it correlates to Dawn, how much of it is like similar and all of that. I mean, it sounds the same, but I think that Oda usually likes to have the puns more kanji related. So Hekibus says, is audio cutting or is it just me? Let me know if there's something with the audio. All right. G33 man said, when Sanji jumps on the Sea Train by himself, bingo. Yeah. 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 Enies lobby is a savage arc for me. I love it, but it is not as lavish as Water 7 and Sea Train. All right, that might be a point of contention for people and all of that. It's a top tier arc, but it just, when I look back at everything and I remember it's just all of the intrigue and everything in Water 7 and like all of the stuff with Sea Train, all of that stuff I have just a better memory of than week to week Enies lobby. Like, it was fun. The fights were great. But it just, like, I've always regarded Water 7 above Enies lobby. I always thought it was a stronger beginning than it was a finish. And the finish of it is great. So don't get me wrong. A lot of people are going to put Enies lobby in Lavish. I'm putting it in Savage. And remember, Savage is still top tier. Alright? Audio's good. Alright, cool. Evo said, hey, Randy also has Water 7 above Enies lobby. I feel so alone in that opinion all the time. Yeah, look, I want to live is great and all of that. Everything, look, it's where we get heat on feet, right? It's the start of heat on feet. But I've got to temper everything with how much I put into Lavish, because realistically, sometimes I'll probably want to put everything in Lavish. But Enies lobby, I want to put my foot in the sand and just show that Water 7 is the better arc. Now, post Enies lobby, we're also going to savage that. We got Ace versus Blackbeard, Garp and Kobe returning, the bounties. Whew. Ooh. It's lovely. Lovely. All right. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Not going to spend too much time on that. Going back to Enies lobby for a second, though. One of the reasons why I, put Enies lobby below Water 7 is I just remember like just being confused with a lot of the powers, and I wish that there were a lot of just more explanations than just throwaway lines for like Gear Second and Ashura. Diable Jambe, I feel like I can explain that one. That one makes sense. But it just seemed like upgrades came out of nowhere. Not that I need a training arc or anything like that, but that's just something that rubs me the wrong way a little bit with some things that Oda does. I mean, even we're seeing that in Wano. Like, what really is Demonio Floor? So, but let's talk about Thriller Bark. I would say before I did my rewatch, I would put it in serviceable. But now I kind of want to certify it. I really enjoyed watching Thriller Bark on one pace. And I had a lot of fun with it. I think the comedy is great. There are a couple of things that still drag it down to this day. Thriller Bark was one of the toughest arcs week to week, especially in the anime. And it made me stop watching week to week with the anime for a little while. But it was fun to go back, and I appreciate what One Piece did, and I really had a lot of fun with Thriller Bark when I did my rewatch. Now, the Archipelago. That's that might be peak fiction right there. That's lavish. Everybody getting split up to this day is like one of the craziest things that like I've ever read. And I just remember reading that chapter and my jaw, like having to pick my jaw up off the floor. Like, what is going on? Where are my peeps going? Like, what is happening? And it set up an amazing arc. So Tennis said it's going to post theirs on the Discord. Yeah, once you guys have yours all together, put them in the Discord, guys. I want to see what you guys have. I don't think anybody's going to really contend with the archipelago being in lavish. I mean, come on, we got all the supernovas. Like that was just one of the craziest things week to week. I was tempted to separate the part with Duval from Archipelago, and if I did, I would put that probably in certified or serviceable. The joke in itself is lavish. Amazon Lily, yeah. Let's go ahead and we're gonna make that serviceable. After the high of the archipelago, it was, you know, we have to start back from the beginning, right? We've got Luffy on his own. There's a lot of great moments in Amazon Lily, especially, you know, like the setup of Hancock having been indentured to the Celestial Dragons, which I'm sure is going to come back around. But you know, all of the week-to-week discussions of Marguerite joining. But it was just very serviceable. I still think my favorite moment was Vice Admiral Mamanga stabbing his hand. That's an underrated moment. Dude's a badass. But you know, you have to get something that is. Let's see. Supernova introduction was legit. Thanks. Yep. That's right. Thought you were gonna move arcs out of lavish bracket as soon as something new came in, not at the end. We'll figure it out. T-Bomber 74 just popping in to say hey, what's up? All right, Impel down. Lavish. It's my second favorite arc in this story. Impel down week to week again was unbelievable. The true who's who of the series. Who's going to show up next? So, and God, the return of the goat crocodile. I'll never stop talking about how the guy in the middle of a prison break just dipped off so he could find his locker and put his drip back on. All right, that's why he's the sauce god. Okay, that's why he's the sauce god. We got the introduction to Jinbei, everything with level 6, level 5.5, Bon Clay the goat, Magellan, top tier antagonist, Luffy struggling, Luffy losing, like drama, Blackbeard showing up, like it just. The craziness of it all. I like Impel Down more than I like Marineford. All right. A lot of people saying Amazon Lily is certified for them. That's cool. That's your list. My list, I think Amazon Lily is serviceable. At some point, I might go back and revisit it, and maybe I'll change my mind. But at this point, it's good. It's great. All right. Marineford, I mean, how could it not be lavish? It's Marineford, but it is not my favorite among the lavish here. Impel Down, yeah. Marineford, great. Deserves its place there. Wheezy Bird, thanks for the super chat. Luffy sacrificing himself in front of Boa despite what happened to his crew is a goated Luffy moment. Big facts. Eva Warrior said crocodile dip to get that drip. Yeah, you know. Chin said any arc with Croc auto lavish. Yeah, probably. Once he comes back, just call it lavish. All right, so post-war. Now this is not including the last bit with 3D2Y. This is basically the the ASL flashback. I am... This might be contentious, but I'm going to put post-war at the top of serviceable. Now remember, this is only... Basically, this is just the ASL flashback, which is not my favorite flashback in the series. It's good. It does what it needs to do, but my issue with it is that I feel it should have come before Marineford. And if it came before Marineford and we had all of this stuff with Ace and everything ahead of time, I think Ace's death would have even been more impactful. Oda does this a lot, where he gives us the flashback after the fact, and then it allows us to go and reread and have a, and recontextualize everything after the fact. I wish for some things he didn't do that. And this is one of those things that is particular. Yeah. So, let's see. Wheezy Bird said, people think Marineford is terribly written just because of hockey confusion. Yeah, I don't know about that. And where I think there's going to end up, I think I'm going to have to go through and reorganize. Once we get through. I mean, we're almost done with this stuff here. Let's see. But 3D2Y, however, I'm going to put in Savage as a... so these are the last couple of chapters of the pre-timeskip era. This is catching up with the crew, finding out where they are, obviously the 3D2Y message, and... yeah, I'll put it there. Tungsten Donut said, I like the ASL flashback better on reread because it gave me such a new perspective on what makes Luffy who he is. True. Shinji asks, what do the tiers represent? Could you in short elaborate? So Lavish Bracket is the top tier. That's your S, really. Just, essentially say, like, it's like S, A, B, C, D, but I just used our, the things that we talk about on the channel here. Lavish Bracket at the top, Savage, Certified, that's, means everything, but I wouldn't necessarily call it S, A, B, D, C, D, either. I mean, I would say Lavish is like S, and then like Savage. Lavish is SS. Savage is like S or S plus. Certified is like S minus, really. There's nothing bad, and then like Serviceable is like, this is an A, and then Basura is like probably a B. Because there's nothing that's like F or D in One Piece. Shout out to Very Motivated, member for 9 months, said I'm late, but I love seeing my man Gaimon in the Lavish Bracket where he belongs. Then we have Return Sabaody. I mean, I want to lavish this because it was so good to see everybody. It's like, man, there's too much in the lavish. There's too... One Piece is too lavish. It's too lavish. Just Luffy dodging everything. Oh, man, everybody coming back together. The fake Straw Hats. It's peak. God, man. G33 man with Garpsy's Dodon again. Yeah, that's why I gotta put 3D2Y in the Savage area. That's crazy. Alright. Fishman Island. We're gonna put that at the bottom of Serviceable. Now, if I isolated Jinbei's flashback would be in Savage, for sure. Fishman Island on its own, with all of the hype surrounding it and everything getting to it, Hody Jones is a basura villain, but you know, Jinbei and a lot of the stuff in the arc saves it. Fishman Island is not as bad of an arc as a lot of people make it out to be. The nosebleed stuff is bad. I think that the conversation between Jinbei and Nami could have been handled differently. That's something that I would change. I would have it be a private conversation between the two of them without Sanji butting in and with the crew around. You know, maybe the crew comes in later, but it starts as a conversation between Jinbei and Nami, you know, in itself, because it's like it's really Nami's journey, and it's Nami's job to forgive Jinbei for, you know, what happened, and I don't think the crew necessarily needed to be there in that moment. So from a writing standpoint, not my favorite thing that Oda did, but it is a beautiful island, very well drawn, and I think that when we come back around to Fishman Island, which we will eventually do because of Charlie's prophecy, that Fishman Island will be much better on a reread. Similar to how Thriller Bark has gotten better with age after Wano. So, yeah. Punk Hazard is... if I'm putting Sierra Village in Basura, then like Punk Hazard needs to be there too. It would certainly be the bottom of serviceable at the very least. Punk Hazard, there's some good moments. I think the island in itself, I think, is very very bland. You know, when you take some of these like really great elaborate islands and worlds that Oda has created with different politics and people and all of that, and then he just throws us on this barren wasteland. It's something different, but I prefer more of the vibrant worlds that Oda creates. So while Punk Hazard was interesting and Caesar was all right, Caesar got better after Punk Hazard. You know, we have the reintroduction to Law. It's probably the best arc for Law, funny enough, even better than Dressrosa. Like, I mean, like power-wise, like slices an island in half. All of the stuff with the switching bodies is like fun, but this is another barrier arc where I think people get to the post-timeskip and have a tough time pulling through this one, and the anime really kind of drag that out. So Chrissy chimed in to say Punk Hazard is Basura. Chrissy did not like Punk Hazard. It was very hard to get Chrissy to continue watching Punk Hazard. Shout out to Behenort. Said the nosebleeds are bad to me because of underlying transphobia. Sanji has them because Kamabaka aren't real women to him. Yeah, there's just, I'm not really going to get into all of that, but the nosebleeds are not peak fiction. It's not great. But I can't put Fishman Island in Basura because the Jinbei flashback is there. Now, Dressrosa is peak. That's on rewatch via One Piece, it became a top 5 arc for me. So, and right now, my top 5 is looking pretty good. We'll see what happens as I move forward, but I know that a lot of Dressrosa gets a lot of flack, especially for being 118 episodes in the anime, which it doesn't need to be, but that's why One Piece compressed to 48. Anybody who doesn't like it or anything, or feels that they need to revisit it or anything, I highly, highly recommend watching it on one pace, and I think it's going to change. You only get one Rebecca flashback, all right, the way it's supposed to be. And Rebecca's flashback is actually one of the best flashbacks in the story, and I know that it's memed on and all of this stuff, and it gets a bad rap because of how much they went back to it. But if you just take it for what it is so tragic, and it's so good on isolation. We have the return of, you know, my goat Bellamy, the Coliseum. Dressrosa is top tier. I love it. I love it. Very Motivated said, yes, One Piece really helped me a lot with appreciating Dressrosa. Yep. Jonathan Arquet said, need to reread Dressrosa and watch it with One Piece. Yep. Oh, yeah. The Law flashback, that's another one that is actually probably pretty good isolated. Not the best one isolated, I would say, but man, it's so good. Send your pink. Come on. Yeah, you're right there, Gabe. Dressrosa's lavish. Yeah. Zoe, I think it might be the top of Savage. Might be the top of Savage. I really liked Zoe. I loved the disjointed story. I liked, you know, it was like the first time that we sort of did like a non-linear story in One Piece. You know, where we're getting, you know, we're jumping ahead and then we're going back and then we're coming back and we're getting the flashback with Jack and all of this stuff, and we're on an island that we don't necessarily need to save. We don't have to do anything on this island. It switched up the formula in such a unique way, you know, so far into the story. Ryunosuke, everything in the whale tree, man, it's so good. I feel like a lot of people would probably put Zoe even in lavish, probably, but man. Taha said, best free torrent, just go to One Piece. Everything's there. And it's safe. Very safe. Whole Cake. Whole Cake Savage. Yeah. If I broke Whole Cake into multiple parts and all of that, I would definitely put the stuff in the forest probably at serviceable. I would put the tea party even higher in Savage. I would put the end probably in Savage. Yeah, but it has a couple of parts that sort of drag it down. But it's got Pedro. I like Whole Cake. Reverie. Reverie's lavish. How could it not be? It's basically an arc where my goat Vivi is the main character. So shout out to that. Can't wait to see more from the Reverie. Wano. All right. So, So, Act 1 of Wano. So we'll take this up to, you know, probably, and we'll include the interlude before Act 2 as well. So the Moria stuff and all of that I'm going to include on this. And I will put this probably there. Probably it's in Savage, but it's like the bottom of Savage. I like Wano. I don't love Wano. Udon and a lot of Act 2 to me is serviceable. I didn't like Udon. But I would put like chapters like Big News and Ultimate in Lavish for sure. Like, those are phenomenal peak fiction chapters. Rex said, are these ordered? Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. The Odin flashback is certified. Chapter 967 and like all of the stuff with Roger is lavish, but the Odin flashback in itself is just certified for me. Odin as a character is, you know, a lot of people really like Odin. I am like sort of lukewarm on Odin. I think that Odin has kind of done a lot of trash stuff. You know, like he abandoned his country, he abandoned his family. It's kind of like we went on a journey with Yasopp. Well, I guess he's a better dad than Yasopp. But a lot of the issues with Wano could have been stopped by Odin. And I think that some people probably... I think the idolization of Odin is wrong. And I think that what Oda was trying to show us with Odin is like how not to be a leader, how much better Luffy is than Odin, because Luffy is, you know, while so many people respect Odin and all this stuff, and he was so strong, like he made so many poor decisions. And you know, you just like when you go back to the, or at least when I go back to the Odin flashback, I'm like, why are you doing that? You know. But everything with Whitebeard and Roger was so great. And I think if Odin wasn't the main character of essentially that arc, as I'm calling it, and that flashback, I would have appreciated it much more. I would have appreciated Odin more as a side character in a Roger flashback. And eventually when we do get a Roger flashback, I'm sure Odin will be a side character in that, and that'll be more interesting to me. So, Odin should have been called Whitebeard and the boys immediately. Jax224 said, see, that's the problem. Odin's not meant to be lukewarm. He's meant to be boiled. That's right. And then Onigashima, it hasn't finished yet, so I feel like it's poor to rate it, you know, but I'll probably put it in Savage for now. There's been a lot of great moments, a lot of great chapters. But honestly, I think I actually will put Act 1 of Wano above Onigashima right now. We'll see how Onigashima ends. So here is the list so far. This is the beginning of it. I feel like I need to trim Lavish Bracket down, though. Let's see. Let me see if there's some reordering. I feel like Reverie should be top 5. Arlong Park is probably top 5. Is the Archipelago top 3? Man, this is kind of crazy because there's like there's a lot of stuff that I want to be in my top 5, but the problem with the number 5 is that there's only 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. So I'm gonna fix the lavish bracket so that it's only 10. So there can only be 10 in the lavish bracket. So that means that you can't not have Marine Ford in the top 10. And it means I'm going to put Sea Train at the top of Savage. Turn to the Archipelago. Okay. Gaimon. Man, I really want Arlong Park to be in the top 5. So maybe I move this around a little bit. Drum, it's so good. Like the more I think about it, like I just keep moving Archipelago lower. But Archipelago's so good. Or maybe Reverie needs to go. I'm having an existential crisis here, guys. I'm trying to organize all this stuff. Like, how do you put ratings on these things? Like, it's so good.
Savage.
Maybe that's it. Maybe Dressrosa is in top 5 for me.
Another one.
That's looking a little better. Let's organize this a little bit. Yeah, I can put Wano higher. Onigashima. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think I want to keep each one to 10 at most. So I'm going to move some things to certified. Ooh, this is going to be tough. Nah. It is what it is. There's 10 in the lavish bracket. There's a lot in Savage. You know, you just got to appreciate it for what it is. So, what do you guys think about my list? It's not your list, it's my list. It's where I put things, and it's likely going to change in the future. Oh, missed a super chat from Bweezy. If you were Odin, would you stay in Wano or find the One Piece, which would ultimately improve the entire world, even if it's decades later? So if I were Odin, I would have used the fact that I had the entire Roger pirates with me to fix the Kaido situation. Like, I would have just said, hey guys, you want to help me like take care of this guy real quick? Saved Wano, gotten rid of Orochi, gotten rid of Kaido, then got back on the Oro Jackson and head for the One Piece. Because there's no way you're telling me that the Roger pirates weren't going to be able to demolish Kaido. Kaido was already shook by Odin by himself, and was worried that, and said that he needed 5 years to make sure that he could like control Wano. So the Roger pirates would have completely decimated the Beast pirates. So that would have been the smart thing, but we wouldn't have the Wano arc. But if I were Odin, which I'm not, that's what I would have done. I would have made sure that my family was straight, that my people were straight, and then I would have gotten onto the thing. Onto the boat and gone. And catching up on the chat a bit here. Chitty Chitty Bang Bang said Fishman Island underrated. Savage. True. It's the most underrated part about it is the flashback. So Clyde said this tier list is a miss, I'm sorry to say. I mean, I've got my own opinions though. Let's see. Catching up. Chin said that we need more Basura arcs, Randy. Well, tell Oda to make bad arcs then. I mean, he doesn't do it. Where do I think Elbaf will land on the tier list? Hopefully in Lavish, considering that, Norse mythology and everything is the reason Oda got into writing One Piece to begin with. Boyo said, why is Impel Down so high? Because it's amazing. Prezizone said, solid list. Randy came a little late. Have I missed the new opening reaction? No, I haven't done it yet. Dextov said the pre-timeskip bias is wild. I like the pre-timeskip more than the post-timeskip. I can't lie. I mean, I still love the story, and I think we're getting a lot of great stuff. Let's see. Actually, the more I think about it, the higher... See, I'm putting Onigashima low because it hasn't finished yet. But it really should be higher. I mean, Robin finally got a fight. 1031, chapter 1000. Man. It's really about there. It's really there. When I think about it more, I actually like so far I like Onigashima more than Enies Lobby. I can say that as much. And there are so many Enies Lobby themes involved. So yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true. My issue with Onigashima so far is it's just so much scabbard focus. So now we're starting to get to the focus on the Straw Hats a little more. So I've been liking things a lot more now. And again, you know, now keep in mind, guys, that again, this is Lavish Bracket is like SS, Savage is S plus, and Certified is S minus. You know, this isn't like I'm saying these things are bad. I'm not. There's just arcs I like more than others, most of them being pre-time skip. And Gray Eminent said, Randy, I'd kick Onigashima up just on the Sanji development alone. True that. True that. And I want to see where it goes. Now, if we get the inversion of the nothing happened moment with Sanji, you know, by the end of this arc, depending on how Onigashima ends, like, it could easily become Lavish. And I know it's Lavish for a lot of you. And it just needs... I don't want to judge it and put it there before it ends. So just bear with me on that, okay? I don't want to put it in the top 10 until it is done. Why is post-war so low? It's I split up the 3D2Y aspect of it and separated that, so all of the crew and catching up with them is its own thing, and I have that very high. But the ASL flashback to me is not my favorite flashback, but it's almost its own arc. Cosmon 333 says, Randy, do you think the Wano entries will go up after rereading it all in one go instead of following it weekly? Probably. Yeah, I'm looking forward very much to Wano ending and then doing a reread and a one-pace rewatch and all of that. And it may have the same effect that happened to me with Dressrosa, which is why Dressrosa is in, the top. Because I went back, reread it, went back, watched it on one pace, and I was like, there is so much amazing stuff going on here. So, but like we say, guys, or like I say, it's about to get spicy. So I got some hot takes in here. Got some hot takes in here. All right. But Punk Hazard being as low as it is definitely not one of them. All right. So a lot of people want me to react to the new opening. I think that we're gonna call this the final list for now. I think that this is it. We have a top 10 up there. Top 10. Number 1 arc in the series for me, Alabasta, followed by Impel Down, then Jaya, Archipelago, Arlong Park. Then the bottom 10, Water 7, Dressrosa, Drum, Reverie, and Marineford. That all looks really great to me and the way that I feel about things. Then Sea Train separated from Water 7 and Enies Lobby at the top. Great Sanji stuff. Return to Saba Odi. Gaimon. Then we have Onigashima, Little Garden, Zo, Enies Lobby, Post Enies Lobby, Wano Act 1, Whole Cake Island, 3D2Y, the epilogue of the post-timeskip era, Bradier, and Romance Dawn, the Luffy flashback, basically. In the certified category, we have Skypiea, Long Ring, Longland, Orange Town, the Odin flashback, Thriller Bark, Whiskey Peak, and Logetown. In the serviceable area, these are arcs that did what they needed to do for the story, but didn't push the envelope. Is post-war, the ASL flashback, Act 2 of Wano with, everything with the Udon prison, Reverse Mountain, Amazon Lily, Shellstown, and Fishman Island. And then in the Basura, that basically means these two arcs are likely to make someone stop reading or watching if they're not fully invested in the series, and that goes to Punk Hazard and Sierra Village at the bottom. Now, are they bad arcs? No. Oda does not make bad arcs, period. He does not do that. That would be the equivalent of a B. Like if this was an A, B, C, D, E, F, whatever. That's just... They're decent, all right? As a fan of One Piece, I don't mind them, right? But what puts them so low for me is the reactions that I see from other people. I want to get you into the series. I want to get this new person into the series. They get to Sierra Village and they say, yeah, I don't know if this is for me. Wait, get to Baratier, get to Arlong Park. I don't think it's for me. That's the problem. And that's just what it is. Then they get to the post-timeskip era and they start to trudge through Fishman Island. They end up liking the flashback, but they're like, I don't know, things seem different. Then they get to Punk Hazard. They're like, this is really stretched out. Just get to Dressrosa. It's going to get fun again.
Savage.
And some people really like Punk Hazard and Fishman Island and all of that, but there's a lot of people that call it a barrier for entry. So that's just it. Shout out to Carl Newman, said Gaimon so low, disappointed, bro. Hey, Gaimon for the longest time was in the lavish bracket. So, and he's at the top, all right? I got Gaimon above Onigashima right now. So, and then Natty Light said Enies Lobby not in lavish. It's a great arc. It's in what is essentially the S category here, just not the S plus. So, my guy Najib said the Kaido backstory gonna make lavish easy. Probably. I'm waiting. That's why Onigashima it needs to end. And then if it hits with the Kaido flashback, which I'm sure it will, and we get that ending where, we finally see who's going to be, the Kuma of the arc or whatever that takes us to the next area, that could bump Onigashima up to lavish for sure. And yes, Fishman Island will age like a fine wine, 10-ish, once we get to running it back around. Let's see how we're doing on the stream. All right. So, it's great. We got 220 people in here. I think I'm going to do the live reaction to the anime opening. Let's see. Give me a second to set this all up, guys. And don't forget to the tier list is pinned in the comment here. When this goes up as a VOD, I'll make sure that it's in the pinned comment. Go to the Discord and send me what your what your breakdown is. All right.
Savage.
Damn. Let's see. Whew. I'm just saving my image off of the tier list site, getting things set up. Chrissy, let me know if if you want to join me for this. I don't know what's going on with Mars, but if you want to join me for this, I do have a double headphone thing where we can both watch it at the same time. But if you're busy, don't worry about it. And there we go. All right, I saved my image. Bandit55 said post-timeskip lacks the charm of pre-timeskip. Yeah, there is an element to that. Okay, Mars is eating. Alright, Chrissy's watching it now. I'm pulling it up here. What's going on? Second here, guys. I've got something weird going on with the computer. Okay. My cursor disappeared? Okay. This is strange. Okay, so as I said, they just bought a house. Congrats, man. All right. Okay, guys. So this is going to be the live reaction to the new opening. All right, this is the new Onigashima opening with episode 1005. I want to thank everybody that's in the chat. This will be this will be uploaded as a separate VOD to the channel, and because we've done that in the past. I wanted Chrissy to join me, but she is busy, and we have everybody in the chat already, so we're going to do this. I'm expecting a ton of spoilers, as always. You know, we'll probably see fight matchups. I'd like to see Demonio Floor animated. You know, probably see Onigashima flying in the sky, even though we're going to get that very soon in the anime anyway. And I have no idea what's going to happen. I haven't heard the song yet. I'm going to have this going through my headphones so that we don't get copyrights with the music and all of that. And we'll see what happens. I'm hoping for something a little more upbeat. I'm hoping for something that is... I want something that's like over the top. I want something that's like Kokoro no Chizu. I want something like that. I want something better than Dreaming On. Dreaming On was serviceable, all right? And I want a lavish bracket opening right now. So I'm going to get into it, guys. It's going to play in the corner. And here we go. Alright, we got a hat floating. Okay. Okay. Ooh. This animation is clean. They even had rocks in there. That's crazy. How high will your ceiling get? Yep, flying Onigashima. Ooh. Okay, okay. Queen's neck. Up, CP0, of course. Great Yamato moment. Ooh. Ace looking clean. Marco, let's go, let's go. Wait, why was the skull of Onigashima moving? Alright. It's loading, I guess. Oh my god. What is going on? Way to ruin the vibe, Funimation.com. Ugh. Alright. So the vibe is ruined here. Let's see. Get this. Ugh. And there's something weird going on with the computer where I don't have a cursor anymore. I don't know how that happened. Alright. Alright. Now I have a cursor back. I'm going to run this back a little. Let's see if that does something. I'm just going to refresh. There. I want to know why Onigashima's skull is moving, though. If you're running on Kaido, looking clean. Whew! Yes! Not this again. Alright, that's cute. Spoilers, Luffy's gonna learn how to fly, guys. The anime opening spoiled it first. This is all cute. But it's a little too light and happy for what I think Onigashima is. Alright, I'm running this back. Well, actually, before I run it back, let me see what people are saying. Shout out to Enter a Name. Said, is it just moving along with the flame clouds, or does Big Mom give it a soul? It's interesting. Let's see. Furrow said 2 scenes are in there that have not happened in the manga. Okay. Lucy B said, "Dreaming I Was Fired." Don't know what people liked about Over the Top. We loved Over the Top way more than Dreaming On over here. It just got me like really excited for the episode. Big Mom turns the skull into a homie. I mean, I think that the eyes would have eyes, though. Yeah, I should have just watched it on YouTube. Homie Kashima. Oh, this is funny. There's a scene with 3 log poses in the ice. What does that mean? Aokiji shows up? I don't know. Chrissy in the chat says the song was and that it was very sleepy, but she loved that it showed Robin at the end of 1020, which was my favorite part of the opening. The Robin moment from 1020. Oh, man. Alright, I'm watching it again. Because I have to. Because I just have to. A lot of emphasis on Luffy being underwater. They really went hard with like the very like pencil-y style animation in the beginning there. Yeah, I see the frozen log pose there. Did you notice that Orochi's heads appear behind CP0? I still feel like they have to run into each other because they, saw each other at the beginning. So I think that that's probably a opening spoiler right there. That's the best part right there, the Robin moment. So good. And I just realized they spoiled Hybrid Kaido also. I really wish they would stop showing what we're going to see in the episode. We don't need that. This whole section here, well, this part I don't mind, but the flying in the clear sky, I think, is not the right vibe for Onigashima, because everything's nighttime and dark, and I think it should stay that way. Dreaming On got that part right. So overall, I think that Paint by I Don't Like Mondays, which who does, it's good. It's not touching my top 5. I don't think that the song itself, it's not what I want for One Piece personally. My top openings are like Kokoro no Chizu, Over the Top, Hard Knock Days, Believe, which a lot of people would probably scoff at that, but I really like Believe. We Are as a classic. And when I watch the opening, I want to get amped for the episode, and this is just, here's an opening with Some really great visuals. That's the thing that's saving this one, is that there are a lot of really, really well animated and well drawn stuff here. And the best section is when they spoil the fights, when they show Robin and Black Maria, when they show Who's Who and Jinbei. They did not spoil, Zoro and Sanji fighting, so that, good on them, right? But I would say that this, I don't know if I saw anything past 10:20, which is pretty good. So maybe after that we'll get a new opening. So we'll have this for about 30 episodes or so. Yeah. Looking at the chat real quick here. Dizza said I was yelling. RIP headphone users. Sorry. Didn't realize. Chin said, Randy, you're saying CP0 versus Orochi soon? Maybe. But at least a conversation. Queen N said the song was lavish in their opinion. Oh, hey. That's cool. Giovanni said he loved Law and Kid throwing Luffy. It was interesting. It was cute. It was cute. The Yamato showcase. Chrissy said that she loved the Yamato showcase. Yeah, that Yamato section was actually clean. I like that. Lucy said, and again, Japanese fans love this opening and song, and that's what Toei cares about. True. Barry, kind of reiterating what I said, the intro song is just very general anime, but the animation is chef's kiss. I agree. And Soccer Smith said the skull isn't moving, but the island is. I think that's really what it's getting at, is that's what, that's just from Onigashima getting lifted, but the way that it is drawn makes it seem like the skull is going to bite something. It's just a very strange way to animate it. Kaiser brought up Jungle P. That's another really great one and a supremely underutilized one. It was only there for like 6 episodes. I really liked how over the One Piece kept Jungle P for much longer. Tennis said that they showed the sky splitting. I missed that. So that would have been 10:28, right? Didn't spoil Roof Piece, surprisingly. That's actually, that was something I was expecting. Yeah, I was expecting to see like a lot of Roof Piece stuff in there. But, yeah. Tungsten said no Zoropack. That's an actual sin. Yeah, man. Truth. Could you imagine if the bandages on the Zoropack are not, like bandage color, and they're actually something different and more vibrant? Yeah, no carrot in there, guys. No, but she's eating grass. First, said Oda dropped carrot hard. Yeah. Mario Cell, I really love the beginning, showing the 5 figures of 1001. Yeah, how high will your ceiling go? That was rocks in the beginnings. Yeah, Lucy. Yeah. Giovanni said, rank your favorite openings, Randy, 1 through 26. We'd have to save that for another day. And I'd have to rewatch a lot of them to remember some of them. I know the standouts, but that was it. Wheezy said Tama was there. Well, I missed Tama, but I didn't I didn't see Tama in there. But I'll go back and like frame check a lot of the stuff and see what people have been posting. Joy Spitting said, seriously, where's Killer? I mean, Killer should be up there too. He was part of Roof Piece. Yeah. So I think that that's going to cover it for the opening portion of this, the reaction to and the talk back for opening 26 here. Paint by I Don't Like Mondays. So that'll be uploaded separately as a VOD. And I want to thank everybody in here for being a part of the discussion for it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you next time. But I'm still here. That's just for the people that are watching the VOD later. And Library of Horror tweeted explaining what the skull moving was. Okay, I'll see what happens. I'll have to check that out. I think it's weird that they have rocks in there. You know, just that outline. Five Discs is not happy that I put the Ace, Sabo, and Luffy flashback in serviceable, but it's good. It's good. I mean, that's serviceable is an A. Serviceable is an A. It's just not S class. So. Barry said, LOL, closing the VOD and live stream like a professional. I've never done that before, but, you know, there's a first for everything, right? Mario's, imagine if they showed his actual face. You know, I fully imagine that, you know, if we see rocks before this opening ends, that they'll go in and just change it and put his face there. Tennis Submarine's kind of spitting. Serviceable is a B, to be honest. Yeah, it's probably. I mean, it's like A minus. B, yeah, B. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Let's see. Close the link to the. Yeah, we'll go with B. Yeah, that's good. We'll say that serviceable is a B.
Savage.
Armand is true. There wasn't a lot of Sanji in there. But, I mean, there's not going to be a lot of Sanji for, you know, the next couple of episodes anyway. You know, we're going to get 1005, and then it's just going to be a lot of him running around until we get to more around the 1020s area, you know. I think Oda's, if you know, holding onto Rox's face and all of that stuff to hide the fact that he probably does look like Dragon. I really like Dawn of the World's theory that Dragon is Rox's son, and that Dragon just married Garp's daughter. I think that it makes a lot of sense. So 10-15 plus is the year of Wanji. I agree. Yeah. The opening needed more Zoropack. That's for sure. Dizza said, since I missed the actual tier list, why is Punk Hazard in Basura? So, Punk Hazard, I explained this before, but the Basura section is for arcs that have made people almost stop reading and watching that I've tried to get into the show. So, Seer Village is that barrier for entry, and then Punk Hazard is like an area where I see a lot of people sort of lose steam when they're watching the show. This has happened with many people, including Chrissy, and you know, Chrissy is definitely happy that she continued because she got to Dressrosa, her favorite arc. But it's tough. Punk Hazard. You know, Caesar doesn't really get great until after Punk Hazard. Law is great in it, but then you have all of the switching bodies. You have a very bland area. You know, all of these vibrant locations in One Piece, like Dressrosa, like the Archipelago, like Thriller Bark, like these things that, you know, these worlds that you see that have such architecture to them, such life, such vibrance, communities, politics within them, you know, that are very unique. And Punk Hazard doesn't really have a lot of that at all. It's very just formulaic. It's a lot of the same, you know, all of the running and trying to get away from Shinokuni. The walls all look the same. The area looks the same. It's just very industrial. And it was different for One Piece. We had never done that before, but I hope we never do it again. And I was glad that we went to Dressrosa right after and got back to the core of One Piece. You know, something based on something in real life. Going back to something that, you know, like the way the Water 7 is like Italy and Venice. You know, you have Dressrosa, and it's like Spain and, you know, and Rome, right? That's the kind of like stuff that I love in One Piece. I don't need to see a factory for as long as I did. Random guy said next opening would be the 25th anniversary opening. Probably. That's a good one. Skypea, I put it at the top of certified, which was sort of like my middle tier. So I went lavish, bracket, savage, certified, serviceable, and then basura. And Skypea was at the top of certified. Say Lucy B said that they stopped in Punk Hazard after over 10 years of reading. It's a tough one. It's a tough one, and I agree, you know, with a lot of people. Like, is it terrible? No, it's got some good moments in there, but it also, after a lot of the stuff that happened in Fishman Island. All right, so think about some of the other arcs that were like sort of tepid in One Piece. You know, like, so let's say Seer Village, right? Right after that, we get Baratier, which is awesome. After Thriller Bark, which week to week was not a very well-regarded arc at all. A lot of people were like sort of dropping in Thriller Bark. You know, I remember the conversations on Arlong Park. They thought it was cool. They liked the Burton-esque elements and all of that. But week to week, it didn't really capture people, especially early on. It finished extremely strong. We all know that because nothing happened. But right after that, Oda gave us the Archipelago. And it's like, okay, then we just went from, you know, Thriller Bark to something like really lavish. And then Fishman Island, which was sort of tepid and all this, like, okay, you know, everybody was expecting Punk Hazard to be like what Fishman Island was maybe setting up, like the real start of joining the new world and everything, and then it was just another setup arc. It was like 2 thriller arcs in a row. And Punk Hazard, granted, with everything going on in Wano and all of the setup that it did with Smile Fruits and all of that stuff, has aged better. It's better than what it was reading week to week. It's better than when you're watching it for a first watch. You go back to it, you can pick up on a lot of like nuances and cues and things like that, but it's still that barrier for entry, so that's why it's got to be there. Randy, have you seen the Alvida and Marine ships leak yet on Twitter? I saw the Alvida ship. I didn't see the Marine ships. So, if someone wants to send me that on Twitter, go ahead. I haven't seen that. I just love that they're actually making the ships. You know, it would be so easy to just CGI that stuff in and all of that, but they really they're going for it. And that's impressive. And, you know, that's a testament to it. And, like, it's a testament to the level of dedication and appreciation and like forethought that they're putting into this. Like, they understand the stakes that are involved. They understand how big this property is, what this could be, and they're doing it the right way. They're actually building ships. They're building Alvida's ship. That could have easily just been a set. They didn't have to do the whole ship because it's only going to be there for like not even half of an episode. It's probably going to be there for like 10-15 minutes. I think anybody else would have just created the top deck on a stage, put some green screen, blue screen around, and called it a day. They're building the ship, so good on them. I appreciate that. I like it. Diz of the Ghost said Law cutting the island is the top 2 feet, and it's not 2. I specifically, when I was talking about Punk Hazard at first, mentioned that as one of the, if not the best moment of Punk Hazard. Tanish said Roger's base really likes Punk Hazard. I don't know why. I don't know either, but if I recall correctly, Roger's base is a big Law fan, isn't he? So probably for that reason. It's like it's got the best Law feats in the series, I think. Like that, cutting that island, breaking the gears is like the definitive Law moment and outshines anything he did in Dressrosa. So, Soccer Smith, if Punk Hazard was shorter and to the point, it would be a great arc. I think we could say that for a couple of things. If, you know, Oda compressed some stuff, there would be a lot of better stuff. I think that that's also an issue with Wano, especially with the Udon portion. I think that could have been easier. I think that one thing that Oda really did great with Wano was Act 1. Just how, like, how dense it was and how condensed it was. And then once he got into Act 2, he just sort of, like, went off the rails, and it's still great, but it's not, you know, other than the Udon stuff. Udon stuff is some of the... Nothing's bad in One Piece, but it's some of the, like, the worst stuff. If I could just pull that part out, I would just put that in Basuda, but, you know, I considered Udon as all of Act 2, so I didn't put it down too low. But, you know. The Yeti Cool Brothers. Like, what was up with that? I remember reading week to week, like, oh man, the Yeti Cool Brothers. Okay, like, is this going to be, like, are we going to fight these guys? And it's just, they served no purpose. We didn't need them. We didn't need them. So, yeah. But, All right, guys. I think I'm going to. I think I'm going to wrap things up here, guys. We finished the tier list on the Discord. Send me yours if you haven't liked the stream. Like the stream. If you're not a member of the Discord, join the Discord. Subscribe, like all the YouTube stuff. We will be back here for 10:37 on Friday. I'm very excited for it. I really think we're going to get a schmanger. My analysis for 10:36 is out with one of my favorite little intro openings that I've ever done. And so be sure to check that out if you haven't already. And this was a lot of fun. Thanks for the recommendation. You know, a lot of people have wanted me to do this, especially Evo. I've seen, you know, I got a lot of comments for, you know, ARC tier list stuff. So this was fun. Thanks for being here, guys. And soon enough, I am going to. I have to set it all up, but somewhere in the coming weeks, I'm going to create a separate channel for the stream VODs. So the more and more I learn about YouTube, the more I learn that YouTube is punishing the channel for the streams and things like that. But I love having you guys here and love doing them. And I love having them up for people. So we'll do a little bit of, you know, what a lot of the other YouTubers in this niche do, where they have a separate channel. I just got to come up with a good name for it. And when I do, I'll let everybody know. You can go to subscribe for that, and then I'll move everything over, and, you know, sort of clean this channel up a little bit. And yeah, so those are, you know, some of the ideas for things going forward. Oh, Chrissy did her tier list. Do you have, Chrissy? Do you have it somewhere? Send me the image or something. Let me see. Chrissy said it took her the whole stream. Download the image and then send it to me. Oh, she sent it. All right. So I have Chrissy's tier list here. Okay. Oh, wow. All right. So this is interesting. So she's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 in her S category. All right. Her top arc is in the lavish. Her top 10 in the lavish bracket are Dressrosa, followed by Water 7, followed by Enies Lobby, followed by the Archipelago. Then, interestingly enough, Little Garden rounds out the top 5 for Chrissy. Then, the bottom 10: Drum Island, The Sea Train, Marineford, Impel Down, and then Loketown. Wow, Loketown in Chrissy's top 10. This is interesting. All right. In Savage, she has Zoe, followed by Romance Dawn, Barati A, Arlong Park, Thriller Bark, Reverie, Shellstown, Amazon Lily, Post Enies Lobby, Whole Cake, and Onigashima. In Certified, she has Alabasta, followed by Jaya, Return to Sabaody, 3D2Y, and Wano. We're going to have to talk about this Alabasta placement, Chrissy. In Serviceable, Chrissy has Orange Town, followed by Reverse Mountain, then Skypea, then Udon, and Whiskey Peak. And then in Basura, Chrissy has Fishman Island, Gaimon, which a lot of people are going to have an issue with, that you have Gaimon and Basura, Chrissy. Punk Hazard, Seer Village, Long Ring Longland, the Odin Flashback, and the ASL Flashback. So, that's Chrissy's list. Giovanni said Randy Alabasta is good, but not amazing compared to now. I beg to differ. So does my towel. Alabasta, top arc. Let's see. Giovanni said Chrissy's got an honest list on what she thinks is good, and I love it. Kujaseki said, did Randy already talk about the new opening? I did. And I'm going to upload that part of the stream as a separate VOD. Chrissy not hiding her feelings by saying Odin is trash. Very hot take for the community. And Chin said, that's a long list of Basura arcs, Chrissy. Dizza said, talk yo shit, Chrissy. Oh, man. Damn, Chin. Alabasura? Yo. My man said, Alabasura. Chin's about to get unmodded. Kip/Seaway said respectable list. Oh man. I can hear Chrissy laughing downstairs. She is laughing very hard at all of this. I don't know if it's getting picked up on the mic, but she is laughing. All right. I've got Viz and Toei talking in my ears. I do not. She is. Mario said that they heard Chrissy. Oh man, this is funny. That's funny. All right. So this was fun. I was about to end everything, but then Chrissy, came in with her list, and I love it. That was a great way to end the stream, and that's what we are gonna do. We're gonna end the stream. Yeah, Chrissy's far away. That's how loud she's laughing. So that's a lot of fun, guys. Thanks again for joining me today. Thanks again for being here. And I know I had some hot takes in there. Chrissy clearly had some hot takes. But it's all respectable. It's what we like. I wasn't making the objectively best list. I was making my list. What resonates with me. So, thanks again, everybody, And I'll see you guys on Friday if you can make it for 10:37. Later, everybody.